You are listening to the WEI Network. The content and opinions of the following show are solely those of their show host. The WEI Network, its staff, and its affiliates are not responsible for its content. Any questions or comments should be made directly to those show hosts. Thanks for listening to the WEI Network.
Hey, Nimrod, did you take out the trash?
I'm right on it, Dad.
Did you do the dishes?
I'm right on it, Dad.
Are you sitting on your rear again?
I'm right on it, Dad. Jeez.
Have you ever lived that? Have you ever been yelling back at your father? Well, if you have, you can understand why it's funny. Welcome to Peter's Living Room, everybody. Glad you can join us, and we're going to have fun tonight. We've actually got the creators of Ortho and his remote, is that the right name?
That's correct.
What?
That's correct.
All right. Among other things we're going to talk about.
Yep.
Love it. Let me shut that off. We are here with Mark Zatorsky. We are here with Shawnee Morel Lewis. I knew it was Lewis. I just didn't want to make him. And according to me, it's Taylor Blackwell. According to Mark, it's Taylor.
Taylor Blackwell.
Right. And a lot of talent in the room.
Yeah, especially on that side of the table.
Right. Well, you know what? It takes a good creator, director to realize that it's his writer and his actors that really are the important part of the project.
Absolutely.
It's true.
How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having us back. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's a blast here.
Can't remember the last time you were in the studio. I know when you were doing stuff with the school. We did
something for the school, right?
We had the kids from the Dream Middle School in. And I know you were here with, a while ago,
we were probably here for
Jeannie and the Git. But you were here after Jeannie.
Yeah, we were here for maybe Daydreamers. I don't know. Did we do that?
I don't remember.
Yeah. We might have come here twice for Gina.
Yeah.
And the Git, yeah. We might have been here twice for that.
Yeah, and I think you stopped in one time on Peas in a Pod just to stop in.
Yeah.
You had to give Eggplant a hard time.
Yeah. We took care of her.
Yeah. So meanwhile, I watched the first episode, and the only constructive criticism I had for it is there could have been a better voice for the father, the off-screen voice.
That takes some explanation, I think, on your part, dear.
No, I think that would go for Shawnee, please. Actually, Peter was originally going to be our voice, and yes.
Right, and circumstances.
Circumstances happen, but
yes,
yes,
it's all right.
Yes.
I mean, it worked out. It was like, well, I can't get this. I'm doing shows when you're doing rehearsals,
right.
Basically.
Yeah.
But you've been trained and taught. Now, did you teach up at Burt Reynolds?
For almost 7 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what'd you teach?
Acting and improv.
Okay. And where did the two of you actually meet? I always wanted to know that.
The two of us?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Marching band in high school.
Really? Oh, you go back that
Wow.
far?
We go way back.
Wow.
42 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And you did you go separate ways and come back again?
Yeah. Actually, the story goes, when I was in band and walking down the hallway, if he was coming my direction, I ran the other direction. He was one of those. But, nah. We're together now.
Yes, we are.
I don't know. I've seen movies like that where the girl ran the other direction or the boy ran the other direction because they were too scared to, they really had the hots for the other person. And,
yeah.
And both UM graduates, or did he convert you?
No.
No.
Neither one of us.
Really?
No.
We're just big
fans
of the football
absolutely.
team.
No, you have to be smart to go to U of L.
No, you don't. You just need money.
Well, there you go. 0 for 2.
Yeah. I was supposed to go there. You don't have to be smart. You need money.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're here because we're going to talk about, you've got...
Before we get started, can I just say one thing, speaking of the U of M?
Yeah.
I want to say hello to my cousin, Sue Zoller, up in Ohio, and we had a bet, a wager for the Dolphin Browns game, and if she won, I had to wear an Ohio State shirt this Saturday, and if I won, she has to wear a
this coming
shirt.
Saturday.
Yes, yeah. She used the excuse because she lost that she had to work on Saturday, but whatever. So Sue, this is going out to you. I want everyone in Ohio to find Sue Zoller, take her picture, and put it on Facebook for me this Saturday. Thank you, Peter.
Sorry, Sue. I tried to stop him.
Look at
you're real hard.
Everything.
Real hard.
All my notes are in black and white, and then in big purple. Sue. Okay, there you go, Sue. Love you, Sue.
All right. Well, what I was going to say is, the first time I met you was when you were directing and producing Genie and the Git, which I guess it's a feature. It was full length, right?
Yep.
And I've known you besides the teaching and everything else, but I've known you basically movies,
Right.
you know, as a movie man, a filmmaker. And then I heard you doing you're smart. You're not as dumb as you think you are. because
She's not.
I told you I would try and build him up a little bit. I know how, you know.
He's very smart.
Yeah. But you know what? You're in touch with the times, and you realize what's going on with the internet and I hate to say this because I believe I have the best and the most intelligent listeners in the world.
Absolutely.
That listen to the show. But the attention span of people, generally speaking, nowadays, is 3 to 7 minutes, basically.
Yeah.
And you've come up with a web series.
Yes.
That's hysterical.
Well, thank you.
And whoever did your casting, getting Scotty Fusion to play the title role.
Well, you know, there's a story there. First of all, I have to give so much of the credit to Shawnee because she has studied everything that's going on, and she knows what's going on there and how to do it and where to do it, and I'm just kind of following her lead, and we're just trying to write and get it moving. Yeah. But the Scotty Fusion thing is a brilliant actor, and he actually just called me or something and said, "Hey, I want to do some kind of project, Mark. Please just put me in something." And we're like, okay. We weren't planning on filming anything because we were focusing on writing, and then we came up with this idea, and he was on board, and you can just see how great he is.
Well, if he wants to do another project, I have one for him.
Okay.
Because I know his salary demands.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a film. It's really a documentary, and it's on the art of landscaping and mowing grass. And if he wants, I'll supply the lawnmower. I've got the location already picked out.
Listen, you set a camera up.
And
he
he'll
will
be there.
he will cut that grass like it's never been cut before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a funny man.
Yes,
he really is.
He is just
and it's
such
funny.
a
I
talent.
first met him, I think, with Jeannie.
Yeah, Jeannie. Yep.
And then all of a sudden, I'm running the stage at the Art and Music Festival out here. And, the setting up for the laser light show. And I'm looking, and it's like, this guy sitting by the light, he looks familiar, but I don't know, Anyway, he says, "It's me, it's Scotty." Yeah, it's very, very talented. Well, why don't you give us like a little synopsis, an overview of, the basic story of the character.
Want to,
yeah,
Shawnee? I talk too much.
Basically, Ortho Peters, played by Scotty Fusion, he's the way we describe him as a lovable simpleton, and to escape his boring life living in a basement, he uses this magical remote and projects himself in these TV shows that he loves. And Scotty Fusion is just a talent, an untapped talent. He's a man of 1,000 faces and 1,000 voices, and you just put something in front of him, and he just soars with it. And he took Ortho to places we don't like to say this, but that we didn't even think up.
Really?
So,
He'll give you a voice, and you're like,
Yeah.
no. He'll go, how about this one? No, how about this? Wow, I like that. But he can just, from one to another, he has that unique talent that
Well, we should let people know if they go to YouTube and type in Ortho,
ORTHO, and his remote.
Right.
And we have 2 episodes up, and we'll have a third.
And a trailer.
And we'll have a third one coming up in
October 6th.
A little bit less than 2 weeks on October 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. And how long a series do you anticipate this being?
Well, this is the 3 episodes is going to be our kickoff season, and then we'll see what happens when next year comes around. So we have that, and that's completed. Actually,
right.
it's with Anthony now for some scoring.
Okay.
And it's already edited, and then we are now working on another web series that we are thrilled.
Right, which is why Taylor
is here. Yes. Yeah. And that's called Tweet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does it have anything to do with tweeting?
It does. I read the first 3 scripts, which are still kind of in the works right now, and it is about a girl my age named Fallon, and she buys this old phone.
Your age, like 19.
I'm 15 years old.
Okay.
I just turned 15 September 1st, which I believe isn't that the
Happy
date?
birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
That's
birthday.
when Ortho and his remote, the first episode
How about
came
that?
out,
It
right?
did.
Wow.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a girl my age, and she goes to a thrift store, and she buys an old, like one of the first generation iPhones, and she thinks it's dead.
I got to interrupt you. I can't believe that it's been so long that you can go to a thrift store now to buy an iPhone.
Yes.
I mean,
I know, it's crazy. And she
you
buys.
didn't buy like a VCR also.
Maybe
Yeah.
you'll have to see. But
All right.
So she thinks this phone is dead, and it ends up sending her tweets, and so this is kind of an eerie thing going on.
It's tweets of what's going to happen in her life before they actually happen.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Like
a really fun
minutes
project.
before or days before?
Well, you'll have to see, but they'll differ. But there are some that are, I think in the first episode, it's maybe a couple hours on the first one or two, but we don't want to give away too much away.
Yes.
But
what a great concept. I just watched a movie with Nicolas Cage. I don't remember the name of it, but like the FBI, and I forget the actress, kind of needed him because he could see things 2 minutes before they happen, and she kind of recruits him to help her run off a terrorist.
It's similar to this. No terrorists involved in this one.
Yet.
Yes.
No, there's no terrorists.
You never know where it's going.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. But it would be it's a we'd label it as sci-fi fantasy. Yeah. And we are absolutely thrilled to have Taylor and her talent. I mean, she's a phenomenal actress. And
well, enough about you. So I was looking at your IMDb or your
yes.
Why don't you let listeners know you've got a nice little list of.
Thank you. Well, I started acting when I was 5, and I started off at a theater production where I played a 5-year-old genius, and that was really fun, and that's where I really first caught the acting bug.
Now, did that come easy, or was it a stretch for you?
It was pretty natural.
Playing the genius.
No, it was really fun because it was my first experience, and it was paragraph after paragraph of dialogue, and my acting teacher actually wrote it. It was a little skit we did, and I just remember sitting with my mom, and we were doing flashcards and going over it, and it was just such a great experience. I've loved acting ever since that. So I went on to do some commercials. I've done, I think, 40-plus commercials. Recently, Royal Caribbean. For that one, I actually got to go on a cruise ship, a 7-day cruise, which was so fun.
All right.
Really?
And I've been working on a show called Magic City that filmed down here in Miami. And I filmed on that for 2 seasons. Unfortunately, it didn't get picked up for a 3rd season, but it was such a phenomenal experience.
Now, what was it? An ongoing character?
Yes, yeah. I played Lauren Evans. She's the daughter of Ike Evans, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who's the star of the show.
Wow.
All right. Good role.
it was a really fun role to play. She was kind of your typical teenager. So she has a stepmom, which is played by Olga Kurilenko, and so she has this kind of relationship between her stepmom and because her real mom passed away, and she likes her stepmom, but she also really hasn't accepted that her own mother has passed and that her dad has moved on.
All right, so whenever I meet somebody, your age or something that actually has, been working in the field, when you're at school and your friends, how do your friends deal with the fact that, you've been on TV, you've been in the, movies?
Well, I go to an art school this year. I just got into Dreyfus.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's very exciting. I'm really liking it so far. The theater program is just amazing. And my friends they've really been so supportive of me through, all of this. And I think part of the reason is because I go to an art school and they can kind of relate to what I'm doing. Most of them work more in theater, they haven't really been exposed to as much film and TV. But, my friends just really handle it so well, and, they really love hearing what I'm doing next. So I'm glad to have such great friends.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How did you meet Mark?
Very good.
Well, Mark taught at the Brift. He taught an improv class at, was it Saturdays? No. I don't know. Sunday improv class.
So she was your student?
So long ago.
Yes.
And I came to the class. I was taking classes with him. And, we've really been talking ever since. Yep. And it's funny because now we're working on a project together, not just the Tweet, which is the web series we're going to be working on.
We'll get to the project.
But
we'll get to that.
Yes, it's
fantastic segue.
Let's just say we never thought the first project we would work on together would be this.
You did have her and Jeannie in the gift.
You know what happened when we were casting for that? She was in California. You guys were in California for a couple weeks, and so we were just like, we couldn't get her in because of the scheduling problem. But then she comes back, and how did we get with the song? She sang the theme song, and then we're like, Taylor can sing like that, and it was so amazing. I mean, it just was amazing.
Actually, I remember the first time I met Taylor. We were watching Cooper, and she was singing.
Yes.
And
okay, that was at.
That was like the first time we were told that you
yes.
got on stage and sang.
Cooper Getchell.
Cooper Getchell.
Okay, he's a local country singer, and he had a show going on at the Maltz, and he called me up and he said, I really like you to sing this song, as something that he wrote, and so I'd never sang professionally before in my life, and gosh, how old was I? I don't even know. 10? Yeah, so probably 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And I got up and I sang this song, and it was really fun, and I really liked the singing. And now I'm taking classes, and I'm working on that too, also at Dreyfus. I have a musical theater class I'm taking right now, which is great.
Okay, so do you prefer theater over film or TV? Or?
I love them both, and they are very different. I've had more experience in film and TV, but I went to Bach before I went to Dreyfus, and I did some theater work there, and I really enjoyed it. So I would, now that I'm not working on Magic City, I do have a little bit more time on my hands, so I really would like to get more involved in theater.
Yeah. See, although I do a lot with film and the festivals and everything, what I like about theater is you can start and run it till the end. Filmmaking, you're filming this scene in the morning, you're filming that scene in the afternoon. They may have nothing to do with each other, and you really have to wait until you have your final product to kind of get the the flow and see what's going on.
What I like about film over theater is that you can direct the audience's attention to wherever you want. It can be a tiny button that's missing on someone's shirt. And you really can't do that too well
on stage.
At stage with, you on stage when you direct things, you can't really direct as much as the let's say I wanted to do it in real slowly.
Right.
And it's harder to get the audience to look.
Right.
You know
what? It's apples and oranges.
Yes.
It is apples and oranges.
That's one of the things that I really like about it. But I think that probably the rush of the performing live and
exactly.
is
film
completely different.
Film we do, and film and TV, you do get a little bit of that rush, just hearing from fans and, through social networking, hearing what people are writing in and saying. But you don't really get that live, reaction from people, which is one of the things that I love about theater.
I don't know if you know, but I had been off Broadway back in the 80s, early to mid-80s.
I think I remember hearing you one of the things.
And it was a 4-night run. And it was really done for a homeless benefit, but it was a couple of Noel Coward one-act plays. And to this day, I laughed. I said, doing it was the best high I ever had in my life.
Wow, it's true.
Period.
Yeah. It's very hard to recreate that applause or that laughter that you get and stuff like that. That's just...
Yeah, but as a filmmaker, when you sneak and sit in the back of the cinema,
I would say I would say the same thing because I did a lot of open mic stand-ups and I did a little theater here too. And
but you don't get a good feeling when the audience applauds your movie.
Well, they have to applaud it first to get that feeling.
Don't worry, one day you'll experience it.
No, but I mean, there's just nothing like the live audience.
Yeah,
watching you perform. That's like she says, it's a rush.
Right, but now you are multi-talented.
Thank you.
TV, movies, commercials, singing.
Singing, yes.
I understand you have a little knack for drawing.
Yes,
art.
I'm very into art, and I've liked it ever since I was little. Whenever I went over to my grandparents' house, me and my papa would just sketch and paint and then my grandma, she taught me how to knit, and so it's always something I've really liked. And then I got to Bach, and I took art electives, which I improved upon what I've already learned. Mm-hmm. And now, Mark and I and Shawnee, we're going to be collaborating on a children's book.
Mm-hmm. Very excited about that.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay. So I'm going to be illustrating, and Mark and Shawnee wrote it, and they sent it to me, and it's called Fred Needs a Hat.
Yep.
Fred needs a hat?
Fred needs a hat. Yeah. Yes.
It's a preschool type book, and and that's it's a story, of course, but the children are going to be drawn with the illustrations, and
it's going to be very colorful.
Taylor's really, really talented, and I went out and looked. You really are, and we were looking for an illustrator, and we found out about you. It
was funny because
mouse told us about you.
Yeah, Mark posted something about it on Facebook, and my mom, commented and said, "Oh, well, Taylor would like to do it. I'm sure she'd be, have fun with that."
Now. Did she ask you before she told them you?
She did not. Okay. But once I found out, I was thrilled. I was really excited to be working on it because, I don't have a lot of time to be doing art just because my homework and all these other things going on in my schedule. So this is a really good excuse for me to actually sit down and draw for 4 hours.
And she's great. And when she was working on the character, we just let her go. And because I don't like to, I think as a director or anything, it's wrong to give direction to an actor or an artist or anything like that, because they might come and create something better than you could have come up with, planned. And you're just stifling them. And I just think that's the wrong thing to do. Let them do what they want, and then you can correct if it's not there. But they might hit that gold, and she created this Fred character, and we were just like, I love it. I really do. And I had I wasn't thinking of...
Now, is Fred a person or an animal?
Fred is a boy, the little boy.
Yeah.
And he's kind of got that vintagey thing going on,
he does.
too.
He
got a bow tie and overalls.
Yeah, she's did a great job with him, and we're, just loving it when we get any work back from her, so, yeah.
All right.
We're excited.
Well, you know what? I'm amazed the two of you, Shawnee, Mark, you collaborate on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just about everything, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
How did you realize?
How do we do that?
Well, yeah. When was it that you realized that the two of you really meld well together? Or the fact when the two of you kind of reunited after I don't know how many years it was. I mean, did you create a relationship and then realize that you could work well together, or did you start working together and everything else?
It started off writing emails. Really.
Well, actually, when Rick was not doing well.
Yeah,
one of our friends had passed away, and we kind of just stayed in touch that way. And then we just kind of, just traded off banter and stuff like that.
And you weren't running away from him at this point.
No. I was just we were just exchanging comments, and then I would get creative in my response, and then he would just
laugh out loud, and she would put something back, and I was like, "Oh, snap! Okay, that's good."
And it ended up creating a fictional town, actually.
Yeah.
And
then I
just took it from there.
I said, "Have you ever thought about writing?" She says, "Oh, when I was younger, because you can write. Because I've always wanted to have a writing partner, and I think it's good for a man to have a woman writing partner, because obviously there's things I don't know, and no, but of a woman, and a woman doesn't know the thing of guys.
Right.
But so, anyways, so.
Now, you've been writing and teaching and doing stand-up and been in the arts. Were you doing stuff with the arts prior to this?
No.
Are you like an insurance salesman?
No, I wasn't involved in the arts
at
all. Music in school. And
if you count clarinet as music,
I always.
Yeah, you do.
You do? Really? That goes through? Okay.
I always liked to write, and in high school, I would rewrite other students' reports for them and stuff. So
so you got paid.
Yeah.
No. Take that test.
I always had a knack for
She drove a
writing
Mercedes. I could never figure that out. And now it's making sense.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it was only a 250.
Yeah.
And really, how we function, he's the one sitting at the computer, and the bulk of the story comes from him. I come in and I fine-tune the little things.
Well, that's important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of the polish.
I can only imagine, the two of you, we joked around earlier about the pictures of you with your mimosas and sitting on the Intercoastal having lunch, and of course you claiming that it's only work, it's all
writing.
work.
We are writing.
Yeah, I could only imagine, and I'm serious, I'm not being sarcastic, of the two of you, when you're not sitting at the computer, maybe you are having a bite to eat, or maybe you're, at the park or something, when something pops into your head, hey, I just thought of this, and then running with it. Yeah. You could, like an hour could go by, and it's like, wow, that wasn't planned, but
we do that all the time.
That just happened today.
Yeah.
That just happened today, coming back, and there was we were tied up in traffic, and I said, I'm sitting there, and and I go, hey, what would happen if there was an accident, and there was this and this happened, and this happened? And I like it. Yeah. I go, okay, so I take my phone, I just record it, and then we'll put it down on, we have a little file of future stories, and and when you feel the urge to go there, we're really tied up writing this, so I want to just focus on that. But no, it happens all the time, and we saw this character that was, what was his name? Poor Johnny.
No, I forgot now.
Oh. I come by and I see this.
I
took a picture. I'll show you later. Yeah. And there's this guy with a sign on his back. He's got an umbrella. He's got a huge dummy in front of him, and he's talking with a little, battery mic. And I'm like, I got to go see this guy. So I tried. I want to go and talk to him because I just like this is a great character thing. She was afraid he was gonna, shoot me. So, so I just went around and took his pictures and stuff. So, but we just so you study characters like that and they give you ideas or something.
Years ago when I lived up in New York and I wasn't doing this. This was like in a previous career. I used to walk from Midtown uptown to go home. I used to sit in an outdoor cafe. And I was in that stage of my life, the soul searching and what's going on. I was into writing. And I always wrote like I was talking. I didn't care about grammar or run-on sentences or anything. But I would sit. It was near the 59th Street Bridge. There was a little European-type bistro, a cafe. And you observe, and I'd watch, and I go, that's the hooker walking by. Ooh, that's Mickey Spillane, whatever it is, and boy, I'm sure you have fun with it. I'm sure you have a lot of laughs. I'm sure, and even at your age, I'm sure there are times you just sit and laugh and say, boy, did I just think of that? Where did that come from?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. You never know when something's going to inspire you, and it also can change the direction of the story.
Yeah,
and especially
nothing's ever set in stone.
Absolutely, right. And one of the great things about doing these web series is, as opposed to a feature-length film, is that, boy, you can turn the ship really fast because the episodes have to be really, really short. I mean, the most successful web series currently, they're under 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can turn your story very quickly. And as writers that are used to doing feature length, where the build-up and everything is a lot slower for web series, boy, is it a lot of fun. Yeah. Because it just can go anywhere.
We gave Taylor 3 scripts, the first 3 scripts already, and we're like, we're changing this, so it'll change a lot, and it'll change, and we'll wing it. If we come there and Taylor flubs a line, and I'm like, oh man, that's much better than we did. Keep it in there.
Yeah, we did that a lot with Ortho, with Scotty. I mean, he would just go off and ad lib, and next thing you know, we've included something else that he brought from the character into the script. That happened a lot with Scotty.
And you hear from some of the directors out there, like the Woody Allens of the world, and I that's the only one that pops into my mind at the moment. But where it's, don't worry about the dialogue. You know what the scene's about. Run with it.
Yeah.
And
so much more natural that way.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's not like reading.
Yeah. When we did the first episode, Amy, Scotty, and I, and when we were starting to do rehearsal.
By the way, eye makeup and a dress. You look very good.
Thank you very much. Well, it's very nice of you.
I'm sure that was part of the
bring out the English lady.
Bring out the English lady here.
There you go.
Don't get that. No. But and when we were going with rehearsal, and they were both so good with just improv that we were just going way off. And I'm like, man, this is going to be 10 minutes long. We got to make sure we get to the script a little bit longer. But it was just so easy to do that with actors that are trained like that. And so you have to, in the web series type of thing, you have to control it a little bit so you keep on the track so that you stay within this time period. Too. Yeah, there's a little line you have to kind of draw.
Right.
So
I don't know if you know this or not, but the first episode, that was one take, right?
Yeah.
That was all one continuous shot.
Yeah.
Well, I was there. I remember the initial.
Yeah. And you can see, you probably saw the table read, how it changed and how we changed. And we even made some changes, a lot of changes when we were filming. But I said, I don't think this would look good cut back and forth because and the two of them were so good staying in the moment. And I said, we got to do this in one take. So we're going to just set the camera and we're going to go. We're going to run. And we did it in the seventh take. We kept, and that was it. After we get it done, we're done. Let's move on.
Okay. And when do you start filming Tweets?
Good question.
Yeah. Well, we have 3. We have the 4th episode written. We have 4 more to do, and then there's just a ton of rewrites, and and then we'll get Taylor and do some pre-production. We'll get some reads. We'll get some actors and.
Yeah, the rewrites. Do you ever get to the point where you say, we got to start filming, I can't keep rewriting it. We got to start filming.
We have a thing that we say.
It is what it is. We get to that point.
Because it is going to change
and
during rehearsal
you can't overthink
anyway.
it. You just overthink it too much, and you're saying.
We'll get to a point where changing the word again isn't really changing the script all that much. And we definitely reached that point. But
and we're going to work with Taylor to develop her character even more and things like that. So we'll take some insight from her on what she feels and things like that. And
because I know when he's sitting at the computer when the bulk of the story is coming out, he'll put who he thinks who he wants to play that role in his head and try to use what we know. Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll look. We always tell Scotty, you're in our head. You're in our head. We're writing it. So.
So even if you don't have someone in mind, you might say, okay, I'm thinking of, Danny DeVito in Taxi.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, so I'm writing this guy,
so you get a flow.
You can keep the dialogue different for each character and things like that.
It helps.
All right, so
we had our eye on Taylor.
And it's funny because when I was reading these, the character was just so similar to me in real life. So it's like, wow, I can really see that Mark did form this character around some of the aspects of my life.
But we didn't even know on some of these. We didn't even know, and she's like...
Which was crazy. Yeah. Some of the things that he wrote in, I was like, wow, I didn't even know he knew that about me, and he didn't...
She accused me of stalking. Don't want to say that.
All right, so time schedule. Yeah. You've got 2 episodes of Ortho on YouTube.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The third one's coming up in 2 weeks, the beginning of October.
Right. Mm-hmm. Taylor promised to have the book finished by Friday.
Sure.
What is your timeline?
No, she takes as long as she needs.
All right, but I mean...
No, she takes as long as she needs.
Oh, on the web series?
On the web series or the book?
No, on the book.
The book.
The book, we haven't really said anything.
She's very busy.
Okay, so it's just... Whenever it's done, it's done.
Yeah. And you don't want to rush. Because she has all the leeway she wants. Okay. She comes up and just to create each page, and there's and it's not something where it takes place in a room where you see the same room and the guy sitting on the couch and something's happening.
Right.
So we're bringing it out of the room more too.
And almost in every page. Okay. So there's a lot of creativity and that takes time, and then she's got to draw it and figure it. So
especially with picture books that are geared towards a preschool child. Yeah. The book is more about the pictures than they are than the words. So it took
Don't forget that. You're the important part of the book.
She is absolutely the important part of the book.
No, absolutely.
He took very little time to write
it. If it took me,
Yeah, it just came flowing out of him.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
To write it, and that's just that's rewriting it. But
so the book, we'll let everybody know when it's
Yes, we'll be posting updates on it.
All right, so Ortho, the third episode's coming out the beginning of October.
October 6th.
You're going to start. Saturday. Do you have a projected date for tweets, like the beginning of the year?
We would like to. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to work around her school breaks and stuff, so we would like to get it around a school break, but we're going to have to wait and see if we can really get pre-production done in time for that.
There's a lot
How much more or less time does it take to edit a webisode, a 5, 6, 7 minute webisode, than to edit even a short film or?
Good question.
I don't know. I would say it never takes less than 8 hours a minute. 8 hours a minute's probably
per minute.
8 hours per minute. Wow. Really? I would say at least, and that's even if like that one episode that was 5.5 minutes long, 3 minutes of it I didn't have to cut anything, but it's it's just when you see the intro and you see the animation and it's very, very time consuming, but it's a very anyone that's out there that wants to be a director, learn to edit, because then when you edit, it helps you as a director to make sure you get coverage that you need, because you're putting it together, and as an editor you're like, oh, I missed this, and you remember that when you're directing. So it's just they go hand in hand. It's something that I recommend if you have the opportunity. So.
All right.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah. So
You were going to say something else?
No, just we don't have a timeline on it, but
okay, but it's around her school schedule and everything else.
Yeah.
So early 2004, probably. 2014.
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
Let's travel back in time here.
Yeah. Now, speaking about films, I do have to get in. The end of the month is a nice little film festival happening in Lake Worth, the LDUB Film Festival. And I've actually got to screen a bunch of the movies that are coming there. Some pretty good little documentaries and shorts. You've got something to say about that?
Yes, we actually, my family entered this year.
Oh. Wow. Right.
We worked on the 40-hour film contest, and we made a film called Rap Sheet, and it incorporated a lot of local actors and our friends, and my dad, he filmed it and edited it and wrote it all, so he's very talented when it comes to that stuff too. So now we had to cut a lot of it down for the 48-hour film contest, but now we're going to do a more extended version for the LDUB.
Oh, very good.
How long do you think? How long was the cut down version?
Was it 4 minutes?
How long do you think you're going to extend this to? 7 or 8? Wow, that's cutting down a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
My dad wrote probably 12 to 20 pages for this, and we just had to cut and cut and cut.
You can almost figure like about a minute a page, so yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Now we know.
Now you know.
And it was really great material, and we were,
What's
disappointed. It's about a rapper, and I'm in it as well, and I'm doing a school project where I have to interview someone. So I meet this rapper who I pass by every day, but I've never really talked to, and I get to know him and his history, and it's just kind of like that friendship, and the message is really, how we pass people by and we don't know anything about them, and how some people are so interesting, and we should really make more of an effort to get to know people.
I agree with that, and that's why I wanted to see the guy with the sign and the big...
Right, I was just thinking about that.
No, but that's true. That's absolutely true. It's great.
Yeah.
So that's very cool.
Good point. Actually, it's a very good point.
Yes, it is. Very good.
Because there are a lot of people.
Right, and we just make these inferences about people just based off their how they look, or where they're living, but we don't really get to know someone until we've walked in their shoes, which is kind of what this movie encompasses.
Yeah, very good.
That sounds great. I can't wait to see that.
LDUB Film Festival, it's the 27th through the 29th of September. The Skonzik Theater in downtown Lake Worth, part of the Lake Worth Playhouse. If you like independent films, there are features, there are shorts, there are documentaries. There are a couple of cocktail parties involved with it. Get in touch with the Lake Worth Playhouse. If you go lakeworthplayhouse.org, there's a link for the film festival there. And then, as I have done the last 2 years, Mardi Gras Casino. It's the big comedy challenge this year. The winner, it's about a 7-week event. And what we do is, I'm a judge there.
Cool.
There's been like 250, 300 comics come in.
Wow.
We kind of weed down to about 40. And then every week, 5 of them compete. And there's a headliner. So Bobby Collins will be there, headlining one week. Lisa Landry will be there. Angel Salazar, Sarge, each week. And each week, out of the 5, one gets picked. And the final 5, the winner gets $5,000.
Wow.
And opens for the big comedy concert in November. Wow. I think this year, I can't remember who it is this year. But anyway, I mean, it's huge. There's like 3,000 people. I mean, it's huge.
Wow. That's
a 7-week thing. And right off of that, and actually while that's going on, the Lauderdale International Film Festival. And then this year I know Ed Asner's coming in, Leah Thompson's coming in, I know they're giving a lifetime award to Zsa Gabor.
Wow.
Now, she won't be in, but she's got a representative coming. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. The arts. The arts is so important. I'm so happy to hear that, you're going to school there.
Yes.
A big... I don't know how to... I don't want this to sound wrong. I'm a proponent of not cutting funding for education in the arts.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They've cut way too much already.
It's the two things that probably the two most important things that help build character and
definitely
life, and it always seems to be the first two things cut.
And when people get out of school, a lot of them that are going after their dreams.
Yeah.
Going after the arts. They want to be a musician. They want to be an actor. They want to be a filmmaker. They want to be an artist. And they don't prepare or give a child, with the exception of going to some place like Dreyfus.
Yes.
They don't give a child an opportunity to choose to want to go after the arts as their means of support in life and their job, and they gear them towards reading, writing, and arithmetic is great, but it's not what everyone's going to use, and the arts are so important. And they just, like you said, they just keep cutting it left and right, and
I really think the public school system really has let down the students in preparing them, or not even so much preparing them, but helping them see a path.
Yeah.
A lot of art students prior to where she goes to school, they don't know what the path is because they're not paying attention to it, and they're not uncovering talents in students, and it's very sad.
Yeah, it is.
And how many students? I mean, that's a Dreyfus is very hard to get into.
It is. You go through a whole audition process to get in. It's so fantastic that we have a school like that in our area, and we can definitely.
How many students would you say?
I have.
I was going to say around 1,000. I was going to say 1,000.
I think it might be a little more than that.
Yeah. That's going against the whole county to get into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we definitely relate the arts back to our academics,
right.
Which a lot of people don't realize. Mm-hmm. And especially in art school, my math teachers and my English teachers are always bringing examples of the arts and incorporating them into our studies.
And also, people don't realize just because you're going to school of the arts, there's a lot more to it than just getting up on stage and acting. I know people who went to the New York, the High School of Performing Arts in Midtown, and they were musicians, they were singers, and they ended up, one of them owns a recording studio, the other one went into costume design. There are a lot of other aspects that once you're exposed to it, you say, gee, you know what, I like it. Look, you're in front of the camera, all right, but you are a writer and a director. Right. All right? Who'll go in front of the camera? Unlike some people might be an actor and may pick, you know what, I've got a project I want to direct, or I want to, I've got a story I want to put down on paper or on computer or, whatever. So, there are a lot of aspects to it that if you don't have it, you don't know about it.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Ortho and his remote.
On YouTube?
Yeah. On YouTube.
Yes, and tweet.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that.
Coming to a
YouTube
near you. A web browser near you soon. And of course, those of you who are just giving birth or planning on getting pregnant and giving birth, there will be a book about. What's his name?
Fred. Fred needs a hat.
I was wondering where he was going with that.
Yeah, there will be a book about Fred Needs a Hat, which will be a prerequisite to getting into any preschool.
Yes,
that would be great. I have a little sister, so this will definitely be on her bookshelf.
Well, thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank
you. This is great.
Definitely keep us informed and updated as things progress.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We'll be posting updates on our Facebooks and Twitters.
Everything else.
Tweeting about
Twitter
it.
ones there.
And next time you have that picture of the table, with the mimosa and everything there, you have to mention what, was it vodka in there?
I'm not telling.
Was it Behringer? Give it a top shelf? Anyway, you're listening to Peter's Living Room here on the World Entertainment Information Network. And we're here with Taylor, Shawnee, Mark. And again, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
The WEI Network, it's not just radio. Yes, we have acclaimed programming with topics that include health, entertainment, magazine shows, green and environmental, political and community news, along with some of the best on-site broadcast of events and concerts from around the globe. The WEI Network can effectively help you in marketing your business, nonprofit fundraising event, and recording of promos and commercials, infomercials, and more. Contact us at 561-290-4597 or email glenn@weinetwork.com, and we will help you keep your business and your memories healthy. Don't ask why, ask why not. Remember, WEInetwork.com to stay healthy and persevere.
Atención, atención! Salsa Fest returns to the city of Green Acres. The Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce is delighted to present the spiciest family festival in Palm Beach County, featuring the rhythms of salsa music, the best of salsa dancing, and the tastiest of ethnic foods. This event celebrates the growth of Palm Beach County's Hispanic market that now represents 30% of the population. A full schedule of music is planned for the 2-day festival, which will take place November 23rd and 24th at the Green Acres Community Park. No se lo pierdan. Don't miss it. For more information, go to salsafest.net or call 561-790-6200. See you there.
Welcome to the Royal Inn Hotel, conveniently located in central Palm Beach County, Florida. The Royal Inn Hotel, where we offer guests affordable luxury with a variety of room types to suit most everyone's preference. Situated at the corner of Royal Palm Beach Boulevard and Southern Boulevard, the Royal Inn offers a serene environment within our 8-acre property, convenient to most everything. Our 166 rooms are spread out in 9 buildings within our large property. At the center of most of our buildings is an Olympic-sized pool surrounded by a tropical landscaping and a spacious deck. Our property overlooks Lake Challenger, where you can enjoy its scenic view from the balcony of many of our suites. Our suites include refrigerators, microwave, coffee makers, hair dryers, and toaster. This is an ideal place for both business and pleasure. The Royal Inn is centrally located, a very short distance from shopping centers, hospitals, restaurants, tourist attractions, and other points of interest. All our rooms have DirecTV with 3 HBO channels. Our exquisitely decorated lobby is Wi-Fi accessible, where guests can bring their laptops, iPads, iPods, while enjoying a complimentary cup of coffee or tea. The Royal Inn, it's pet-friendly. Yes, you can bring your pets and reserve our pet-friendly rooms for a minimal fee. We also reserve smoking and non-smoking rooms. We have a restaurant within our property serving Mexican cuisine with an outdoor tiki bar where you can enjoy chilled margaritas while overlooking both the lake and the pool. 2 fast food chains are also within the property along an endless array of dining options a few steps across the street. Thank you for choosing the Royal Inn, and we hope you will enjoy your stay. The Royal Inn Hotel, 675 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, Royal Palm Beach, Florida. Toll free, call 1-800-428-5389 or just go to royalinhotel.com.
The Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce and the Village of Wellington have teamed up to bring the Fall Festival. This very spooky Halloween event will take place on October 19th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Village Park in Wellington and includes haunted hallways, bounce houses, door-to-door trick-or-treating, costume contests, hay rides, and much more. This is our way of safe trick-or-treating and fun for the Fall family. For more information, visit our website at cppchamber.com or call 561-790-6200.
This is Scotty Z. Tune into the Sports Locker Monday night, 6 o'clock on the WEINetwork.com.
This is Ray Romano, and Peter's Living Room's a great show, and he hasn't asked me to be on it, but he did ask me to do this promo. I guess men of a certain age and women, too, like to listen to it, and so do I. Peter, why don't you have me on your show?
This is Barack Obama. And as I said earlier today, on Tuesdays at 2, I like to tune into Voice of the People with Harriet Lerman. She's smart, and you'll enjoy listening to her. And Michelle and me want you to join us.
You are listening to the world's entertainment and information network, WEINetwork.com, bringing you the best in entertainment talk, information, and events.
The place for your education is the Education Place. And it's not for everyone, but it may be for you. Would you like to live your future now, pursue your interests and dreams, be treated with respect, and not just have to treat authority figures with respect? The Education Place, a private school in Wellington, Florida, serving grades 1 through 12. Education Place uses the Montessori philosophy of education, where they balance freedom with responsibility for personal and academic achievement. Skilled educators provide instructions and support. Accredited curriculums ensure that future academic goals are attained. You know, the world is getting smaller. Everyone needs an educational structure to help them get the most from their education. So what you have to do is act now. Contact the Education Place. They're located at 12794 Forest Hill Boulevard, Suite 23. Online, you can get them at the number 1, educationplace.com. To call, dial 561-753-6563, or just email info at number 1, educationplace.com. Take care of your future. Act now. Education Place, Wellington, Florida. This is an opinion from the WEI Network. Hi, this is Peter from the WEI Network and the host of Peter's Living Room right here on the WEI Network. We're very proud of the inroads the station has made over the recent past. Its quality shows, its participation in the communities, and our ongoing efforts to continue to offer quality programming for all age groups, ethnic groups, and social events. We offer a platform for individuals, companies, profit and non-profit organizations to get their message out to our listeners. Listeners that, due to the makeup of Internet broadcasting, reaches all corners of the globe. We continue to offer affordable and public services without regard to race, color, creed, political or religious point of views. As it's been stated in many outlets throughout history, freedom of speech means having the ability and the right to express yourself. God bless this country that affords us that luxury. I would be remiss if I didn't express both positive and negative remarks regarding topics aired on the various shows we broadcast each week. Although the WEI network may not agree with the philosophy and the messages by our brokered shows, we do respect their right to say so long as no harm is incurred on others. That is the basis of free speech. You don't like what you hear, you have the right to tune it out, shut it off, etc. We will continue to work with those interested in using the WEI network as a platform to air their point of view, philosophies on life, business, religion, and politics. We will continue to support organizations working for the improvement in the quality of life for those in need and for people in general. We offer our services at an affordable cost and offer PSAs to those who qualify, hoping that you will continue to listen